Happy Sunday, work life warriors. What y'all doing? What y'all doing on this Sunday evening? What are you doing to prepare yourself for work? How did you de stress this weekend? Did you do anything playful? Did you add any fun, joy, laughter into your life? I would love to know. Drop in the comments and share with me what did you do this weekend to make sure that when tomorrow morning's alarm goes off, you hop out of the bed ready to contribute some much needed value to the world instead of hitting the button 50, 11 times. Now, work is an extension of play, it is our contribution to the world. And so we must be intentional about managing our stress so that we're excited come Monday morning. If you didn't know, Monday mornings are the most stressful for most people. Most heart attacks happen on Monday morning. Sunday evenings is when most people are depressed, thinking about going to work tomorrow. And so it's in our best interest to play as hard as you work every single day, but especially on Sundays because it is the end of a work week and it is the start of a new work week, or it will start a new work week, right? And so if you de-stress on Sunday, you start off Monday renewed, excited, and ready to add some much needed value into the world. So, one of the ways that you can reduce your stress is by reading. Reading is a great way to reduce cortisol in your body. It helps to increase your vocabulary, it boosts your confidence, it's good for your mood. It helps you with logic, reason. It provides information that you may need. There are so many benefits to reading, shifting your eyes from left to right, and it's very beneficial that we do it every single day, at least if it's just one page a day, a book a week, or at least a book a month, right? 12 books a year is so beneficial to your health. It sets a discipline, practice that you can go to gather the information that you need while also reducing your stress. So, win win. Reading is win win. And today we are going to do part 13 of Unstressable. So I read this book last year, and as you can see, I made a couple of bookmarks in it. And I thought it would be beneficial to come and talk with you all about what triggered me while I was reading the book, things that I wanted to talk to people about, or things that I thought would be beneficial to you. So this is an opportunity for you to kind of get the information that was, I guess, either supported throughout this book or spark new ideas. And so I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is Unstressable Part 13. We are on page 47 of the book, and it is at the top. And it is just talking about basically stress is an emotion, right? It's also an emotion that produces emotions, and it is an emotion that can be felt from other emotions, right? So if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling worried, all of these things are tied to stress, right? Any negative emotion triggers stress. If you are feeling sleepy, exhausted, if you are wary, disappointed, you are experiencing stress. And as you know, many of us are always experiencing negative emotions. We are not necessarily happy. We're not experiencing happiness, joy, peace throughout the day. We're constantly doing, going, and we do not have time to just be. And so this book is just talking about the everyday triggers or the daily hassles that we face, and how do we respond to it, because it's really not the stressor itself, because we can't necessarily control the stressor. It is how we respond to the stressor instead of reacting. Many of us are in autopilot. We are just going through the motions. We are responding the same way that we always have, the way that we were taught. And what we need to do is disrupt that automatic process and decide to respond instead of react, right? And what that means by responding is asking yourself, what are your needs? What are your values? What about the other person? What is the desired end result that you want, right? Whatever those things are, you take into consideration before you respond. So reacting is just autopilot right off the top, and responding is taking the time to think about what your needs are, what environment you're in, what's the ultimate end goal. So this paragraph was just talking about what happens if a stressor happens in everyday life. And it gave the example of a partner asking her, partner to grab some milk on the way from work, and the partner forgets or grab the wrong type of milk. Now, we could respond in one or two ways, right? We could be very reactive, very upset by not getting the milk. We could turn it into a bad scenario, right? It's already not ideal, but we can make it worse. We can fight, we can argue, we can snowball this very small incident into a mountain, right? Or we could figure out a loving way to resolve it, right? You can let the person know it's okay, figure out a way to, get the milk yourself, or figure out a way to get the milk while still dealing with the person, because the person is human, right? And we all make mistakes, and we don't want mistakes of others to be triggers for us. We want people to be around us and allow them to be themselves and make mistakes without them feeling judged. Or do they have to do everything perfectly? So when the person makes a mistake, regardless of how much of a hindrance it is to your plan, or if it is an inconvenience, we want to act in the best loving way possible to make sure that the end result or the end goal is intact. And one of the end goals that we always want to think about when dealing with other people is the relationship. So many times we are thinking about just solving the problem, and we will blow up at the expense of the relationship, right? I'm now upset with my partner because I really needed the milk, and now I will blow up at my partner, which will decrease our emotional bank account. And we no longer feel close, we no longer feel connected, because I wouldn't say overreacted, but I reacted to something very small when I could have responded with care, with joy, with compassion. And so that's really what stress management is all about, is honoring the pause, that when a stimulus happens, you stop what you're doing, think about what your wants and needs are, you allow the space to into the situation to see it from a higher perspective, and you respond instead of reacting. And so stress management is just honoring the pause, knowing what your needs are, and making sure that you are responding accordingly. So I absolutely love this paragraph. It says it's the same trigger, and yet the resulting stress differs. It's not just just the triggers that make us feel stressed. Similar to how a bigger area in physics would lead to a lower measure of stress within the object for given any given force applied, our ability, skills to deal with what stresses us, the skills that we possess, and the resources that we can rely on to handle the situation are the game changers in how we experience the resulting of stress. And so this is why it is so very important for us to learn stress management, stress education, and wellness training. We think that we are managing our stress, which in the short term, we probably are, right? Whatever we're doing, we feel less stressed, we feel less anxious, less worried, because we are distracting ourselves, we're withdrawn, we are avoiding the problem. And it works short term, right? But in the long term, it's not beneficial to our health. It's not necessarily in our best interest. And so it's in our best interest to learn stress education, stress management, and wellness training, so that we have a toolbox in any given scenario, environment, or anytime we're experiencing stress, that we can go to and make sure that we are reducing our stress in an adaptive way and not maladaptively. And so I absolutely love this book. This is a wonderful book. Get out there if you can and grab a copy and read it. I believe if you don't know anything about stress, it will transform your life. If you know anything about stress, it will reaffirm what you know, but it will also add extra information that you never thought about. And so it is a great read. And I would tell you to get out there, play the stress away, make sure that you are learning about stress, you are addressing your stress and not ignoring it. It's the best thing that you can do for yourself. As you can see, it's getting kind of warm in here. The sun is starting to come up. So I am going to go ahead and get off and turn my air down a little bit. And I will see you next week for another book review. You still have time to get out there and play the stress away, work life warriors. It's in your best interest to do so. Now, living is a shared experience, and I am enjoying life, but it isn't any fun if you're not having any. So, I want you to get out there and play the stress away. So, I hope this helps, work life warriors. Have a great day. Bye.